The Wooden Railway Adventures of Thomas the Tank Engine, Episode 41, Gordon's Shed. Special thanks to Thomas Wooden Tales for suggesting this episode's title. Gordon the Big Blue Engine was on his way back to the shed after a long day of work. Sometimes he thought it's really tiring to be such a large and splendid engine. Gordon returned to the shed but was surprised to see that there were no spots open. "What's all this?" said Gordon. "How come there aren't any spots open for me?" "Don't you remember?" said James. "Remember what?" said Gordon. "Ryan here saved Thomas and Spancan from scrap the other day," said Henry, "and Thomas said he would make it up for him, so he let Ryan spend a night in the shed." "Oh yeah, I do remember that," said Gordon, "but how come you guys didn't leave any spots for me?" "Because we all finished our work first," said Edward, "so we got whatever spots were left in the shed." "You're welcome to sleep in one of these sidings," said Duck. Gordon looked. "The sidings are too small," he said. "Oh, what a shame," said Ryan. "Take my advice, scrap that filthy old tenor of yours and get a nice bunker like me." The other tank engines burst out laughing. "Oh, bother," said Gordon. "I'll just find somewhere else to sleep," and he rolled away. Gordon went around the island looking for any place where he could sleep, but all the good spots were taken. "Sorry, Gordon," said Logan. "If you're looking for a place to sleep, I think there's an empty shed way over there." "Alright then, I'll go sleep in that shed for tonight," said Gordon, and he rolled away. Gordon rolled into the empty shed, and he soon fell asleep. The next day, Gordon woke up and rolled away to pull the express. Gordon collected his coaches, and he set off. He pulled it all day, and when he was done, he went back to the shed. But once again, all the spots in the shed were full, and the only open spot was a small siding. So Gordon slept in the same shed he had slept in the night before. Then he slept in it again the next night. Then he slept in it again the night after that. Soon a whole week had passed, and now the engines were beginning to grow tired of this. "Why can't Gordon come back here to the shed with us?" said Edward. "If you ask me," said Duck, "I think Gordon thinks he's so special he deserves his own shed." "Well, we are talking about Gordon," said Percy. "You may have a point there, Duck." One afternoon, Sir Topham Hatt was waiting at Navarre Station for Gordon to arrive. Splatter and Dodge arrived to take Gordon's coaches away. As they waited for the shunter to fasten the coupling, they heard Sir Topham Hatt talking to Gordon. "Gordon," said Sir Topham Hatt, "I have a special job for you. Tomorrow morning, I want you to get up early and come here to Navarre to collect some important passengers, and then you are to take them to Allstate Castle." "Yes, sir," said Gordon. "What time do I need to be here?" "I want you to be here at 9 o'clock sharp," said the top hat. "Do not be late." "I won't, sir," said Gordon. Splatter and Dodge were worried, however. They had heard about Gordon's new shed and knew that this could cause a problem. After they put Gordon's coaches away, they decided to discuss the issue. "So Sir Topham Hatt wants Gordon to be at Navarre at 9 o'clock sharp," said Splatter. "He could get there on time if he was sleeping at Timid's sheds." "But now Gordon is spending every night in his own shed," said Dodge, "and that shed is all the way on the other side of the island. If he spends the night there, he will never get to Navarre on time in the morning." "What we need to do," said Splatter, "is get rid of that shed so Gordon can't sleep in it tonight. Then he'll have to go back to Timid's sheds. Then he can be on time in the morning." "What a good idea," said Dodge. "But how are we going to get rid of the shed?" They soon came up with a plan. Molly and Neville were to double-head a goods train from Titmouth to Wellsworth. There were some fuel tankers at the back of the train, and Splatter and Dodge were to fetch a brake van for them. Instead of adding a brake van to the train, Splatter and Dodge just coupled to the fuel tankers and hurried away with them. Soon the guard's whistle blew and Molly and Neville puffed away with their train. Except the train now had no fuel tankers and no brake van. Splatter and Dodge took the fuel tankers to the top of a hill, where they got ready to push them down. "Okay, are we ready to do this?" said Splatter. "Yeah," said Dodge. "Let's just pray that the fuel tankers don't come off the track before they reach Gordon's shed." They pushed the fuel tankers towards the edge of the hill, but Splatter and Dodge were still coupled to them, so the fuel tankers pulled them down the hill with them. Gordon was getting ready to go back to his shed when Splatter and Dodge rushed past him. "What in the world?" cried Gordon. Splatter and Dodge tried to brake, but the fuel tankers were way too heavy for them. The two of them raced out of a tunnel, and up ahead was Patriot filling up on coal. "Yikes!" cried Patriot, and he raced backwards before the coal could finish pouring, so some coal spilled out on the tracks, but that didn't stop Splatter and Dodge from racing through. Sir Topham Hatt was at Ellsworth Station when Patriot raced by, followed by Splatter and Dodge. Patriot swerved into a siding at Wellsworth. The points changed when Splatter and Dodge raced down the siding that led to Gordon's shed. The twisty track made Splatter's coupling snap, and the fuel tankers raced forward while Splatter and Dodge came to a stop. And the fuel tankers ran into the back of Gordon's shed. No one had been hurt, but rubble lay all around. "Oh dear," said Splatter, "this wasn't our fault. I hope Sir Topham Hatt will understand." The two diesels reversed back to Wellsworth, where Sir Topham Hatt and Patriot were. Both did not look very happy. "Splatter, Dodge," shouted Sir Topham Hatt, "what is the meaning of this?" "Are those the fuel tankers from Neville and Molly's train?" asked Patriot. No they're not," said Splatter. Yes they are," said Patriot. "I recognize them. I was the one who shunted Molly and Neville's train, and those were the same fuel tankers." Just then, Molly and Neville came over the hill in the distance, but without a brake van on their train, the troublesome trucks pushed them down and they crashed at the bottom. The mess was terrible, and now the tracks were blocked. Sir Topham Hatt was crosser than ever. "Splatter and Dodge," he said, "first of all, you did not put a brake van on Neville and Molly's train and caused them to have a wreck. Then you took their fuel tankers and blew up a shed. What is the meaning of all this?" "We were trying to get rid of Gordon's shed so he could come sleep at Titmouth. Then he wouldn't be late to pick up his train in the morning," said Splatter. Sir Topham Hatt sighed. "Well, I know that you guys were thinking about Gordon and wanted to help him out, but blowing up a shed is not the way to do it." "Yes, sir. Sorry, sir," said Splatter and Dodge. So Gordon went back to Titmouth sheds. And the next morning, he arrived just in time to pick up his passengers. Once they were all on board, he set off for Olstead Castle.